Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and well, it's night. It is nighttime. This is gonna be a little bit different of a video. I'm having a lot of thoughts today, and there are some that I feel like I'm not alone in having. But first, this is my husband's medieval times. Beautiful stein that he had his beverage in when we were there, like forever ago. Cheers. And I was kind of hoping it would fill the whole thing up, but it doesn't. Let's get into this. Hi everyone, my name is Kylie. I'm an author, tuber, voice actress, audiobook narrator, and professional nerd. Normally I record during the day. It is pretty late in the evening now, and as I said before, I've had some thoughts, and I just kind of wanted to jump on here and share a little bit, because I feel like I'm not the only one who has them. So I've been a creative full-time for the past 5.5 years, almost 6 years. I do everything from on camera to voiceover to animated gaming to modeling, that sort of thing. And I'm also a author, and I do audiobooks for a full-time living, pretty much. And as a creative, it's really hard. It's really hard to be your own boss, and you have to get you up in the morning. You have to give yourself tasks in the morning. You hold you accountable 100% of the time, and sometimes you just don't want to do it. And for me, I find I go through peaks and valleys. So right now it's a valley. I don't know why I keep like smoothing over my eyebrow. One thing that I notice all creatives have a tendency to do is self-doubt. And from time to time, that self-doubt can really creep in and really bother you. And it's bothering me today. And it's hard some days. I live a dream life pretty much. I work from my house. I work from my closet most of the time, or I'm here at my desk. But some days I just don't want to do it. Some days I feel like I'm not where I want to be at all. Some days I feel like I'm so far away from my goals and my dreams. And it really eats away at you. My life doesn't look the way that I thought it would. And I'm so glad that it doesn't look the way that I thought it would, because what it should look like is me in Kentucky working on a horse farm, a racehorse farm, picking which horses to breed for what and going out and buying racehorses for big farms. My previous life was horses. My degree is a master's in equine business, so I pretty much have a horsey MBA. Which I'm glad that I got the MBA part, because I'm using that part. And when I came back from Kentucky, I'm originally from New York, so I moved from New York to Tennessee for my master's. Then I went up to Kentucky, lived there, moved back to Tennessee, and now my husband and I are in Texas. I've lived also in like South Carolina and Vermont, and I've been all over the place. I'm really glad my life doesn't look like it was supposed to, because my life is so much more fulfilled doing this stuff. However, being a creative person in general and putting yourself out there and pursuing the scariest things that you could possibly pursue, because the ability for failure is always there. And the cliche I was told in business school is somebody's success is built on a pile of their failures. but failing is horrifying. It's terrifying, and it's gut-wrenching, and it's heartbreaking. And everybody's opinion of failure is different. And sometimes I feel like a failure. And this isn't a woe is me video. This is I'm just venting how I feel about being an entrepreneur, self-employed, and a creative person, an artist, somebody who creates for a living. I wouldn't be doing anything else. I wouldn't want to be doing anything else, but man, is it hard. And then throw a kid in the mix, and it's like, whoa. It's not just my husband and I anymore. It's me, my husband, and my son. So that can get a little bit daunting. But yeah. One of the best pieces of advice I got from a fellow author was keep your eyes on your own paper. And while that advice is really good and it's very true, it's so hard to do. And I've found I'm very good at keeping my eyes on my own paper because 1, I am super introverted, and 2, I zone in on what I need to be doing, and 3, I have always competed against myself. I've always been competitive sports, and I've done a lot of competitive sports where they are not necessarily team sports, like I played soccer and basketball and stuff like that, but I also played different sports where it's you. I did competitive taekwondo, and I also showed horses for the majority of my teen young adult life. And those are all things that you are judged on you. And every score that you get, you try to improve against your own score. I did dressage, so it's very much about, it's patterned riding. It's in the Olympics. But yeah, it's a lot about you and your horse. Or taekwondo is how good your poomsae is, or your sparring is, or your self-defense sequence is. So you could always be better, and you could always improve on yourself. However, I had the honor of growing up in the 90s where by the time I was 15, AOL came back. AOL and AIM had just come onto the scene. Memories. And MySpace was a thing when I was about 15. You know, and you had to go and look through all the forums to get your background up, and then you had to learn HTML to legit put songs into your profile. And yeah, that was my life. And I didn't have to compare myself to anybody else growing up, you know, online. Just the girls at school, which was enough within of itself. But I didn't really have too many issues. But today, you know, I have a Facebook, I have a Twitter, which is where common sense goes to die. I have Instagram, which I adore, and I have Pinterest, I have Goodreads, which, I have a BookBub, and there's a couple other, you know, I have a newsletter, that sort of thing. There's a couple, and obviously this YouTube channel. So you're surrounded by social media, and so much of being a creative nowadays is being on social media and being kept in the loop and researching what's, you know, the algorithm for book ads, or, you know, what's hot in the market right now, or who's writing what, who's releasing what's the trend right now. And it's a lot. So the compare game can get really, really intense really fast. This video was not inspired by me comparing myself to anyone. This video was inspired by my quiet discontent with myself and where I am in my career. The comparison game gets interesting. I'm always a person who celebrates victories for my friends. I love celebrating victories for good people and for my friends. But there's always that human nature in the back of your mind that makes you wonder, what am I doing that's wrong? What am I not doing that they're doing that I could be doing better, or could be doing in general? And what I'm having to remind myself today is everybody's journey is different. Everybody is going to take a different path. We're all different. We all grow at a different pace. We all have different genres that we like, that we're passionate about, that we're good at writing. And not two people are the same. Nobody's journey is alike. There's a Brandon Sanderson quote that has stuck with me for the last few years. That is journey before destination. It's in Way of Kings, the Stormont Archive. And I really like that you don't focus so much on where you're going that you lose the journey. You wish it away, so to speak. And sometimes I find myself just being like, oh, if I could just get to here. But always after that here, there's another here. And then there's there. And then there's above there. So we're human, it's human nature. We're never fully satisfied. Some people, I believe, can be fully satisfied, but they will still want to strive to be better, to make their words better, to make their art better, to make their videos better, to make their acting better. Being a creative is hard. Because if we don't get the words out, if we don't get the art, the picture drawn or painted, if we don't get the scene painted, if we don't get the notes to keys or to string, if we don't write the script, if we don't dance to zero music just to get it out to move, it feels like it's killing us. We're compelled to do things because we have to, because we love it so much, and because it's such a part of who we are in our psyche and in our person and our soul that we can't hold it in. And if nobody reads the book that I write, I'm okay with that. But it's the fact of getting it out. You've got to get it out. Because then if you don't, it just becomes poisonous. It's terrifying to put yourself out there, to give yourself an opportunity to fail. But how much of a detriment will it be to your soul and your psyche to not try? I've always been a person who enjoys trying everything and living my life with no regrets. Of course, I have many, but you know what I mean. I don't want to ever wonder what if on my deathbed. That'd be so awful. But you're not guaranteed tomorrow. So days like today are hard. Days like today suck. Days like today make you want to go cry and scream at a pillow, curl up under the covers, never to crawl out again. You're just gonna stay there and be a human burrito with your cats and wine. But you can't do that. So this video is as much for you as it is for me. And I know everything you want to do will be worth it because you will get there. And everything that I want to do will be worth it because when I get there, it'll be so worth it. But as soon as we get there, it's going to be the next best thing. And we're just going to want to get better. Some people call that being a perfectionist. I call it just the craft. If you're working on your craft constantly, knowing that you'll never be a master of it, that's not perfection. It's your passion. So if you're a creative who is going through a rough time or a rough spot, a rough patch, I am with you 100%. And I am where you are today. But tomorrow, I want to be better, and I want to move forward and not look back. Because even the most successful people in the creative outlet, the world, have these days still, where they feel less than adequate. This was a really different video for me, but I hope it helped somebody, because being a creative, it's hard, but it's worth it. Just don't lose yourself in the process. I love you guys.